Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about places where I go eat when I'm out of town. Now, a few things before I get to the list that I want to talk about is I keep my portions when I'm out of town playing ball. I try to eat, it's anywhere too, even if I'm not playing ball, I try to keep my portions small. And I might divide them up, like I'll take to-go boxes and maybe eat some in the morning. If I get Chinese food in the afternoon, I'll kind of hold on to the rice and the chicken, and I'll eat it, warm it up in the morning, and I'll eat it real quick in the morning, but very small portions, guys. Another thing too is whenever you guys, what I want you to do when you're going to start doing this is I want you to experiment and kind of get it started when you're in town. And don't just start doing this when you're out of town playing a tournament. Actually do it around your house. If you guys are taking BP, get out and start eating at these places that I'm going to give you a list of. And that way you get acclimated to the food before you actually go out of town. A lot of guys, I've seen this too, that they eat like crap when they're in town. They get out of town, they try to eat good, and they throw their body in a shock, and it just messes them up. So what I would suggest to you is whenever you are in town, you're taking some BP or maybe playing some league ball, is I would experiment 3 hours. Don't eat more than 3 hours. Don't eat less than 3 hours before you play or even take BP. And then I would eat complex carbohydrates and protein. And I would go to these places I'm going to give you a list of, and I would eat those before I would actually go and take BP or even play in a league game. But what I do in the mornings, we usually hit BP around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I do not eat before I take BP, and I do not eat before I play a game in the mornings, 8, 9 o'clock. If it's at 10 o'clock, that's a maybe. 11 o'clock, definitely I'll get up in the morning when I'm out of town or in town, and I will grab something to eat. And I'll usually go to these places where I'm talking about, and usually it's Mexican food place in San Antonio because they have huevos rancheros, and I will eat that without the papas, without the potatoes. And basically what that is bacon, eggs. It's got some sauce on it, some ranchero sauce, and beans, and that's it. Stay away from the tortillas, stay away from the corn is usually what I do. I kind of stay away from those kind of carbs. And if you guys have listened to any one of my other videos, complex carbs up, simple carbs down. If you guys are playing outfield, keep your complex carbs up. If you guys are running bases, keep your complex carbs up. If you guys are playing first base or a DHing, kind of keep your protein up, low on the carbs. And then if you guys are kind of intermediate in the middle, whenever you guys are playing third base, shortstop, and second base, and pitching too, because a lot of energy exerted in pitching. So I would keep my carbs up if I was pitching, when I pitched. So keep my energy level up. So let me talk about a few things. What I would do is I would experiment when you're in town with these places I'm going to give you. Don't eat 3 hours before I play. In the mornings, what I would do is I would not, if I had an 8, 9 o'clock game, I would not eat before I play. I tend to have more energy that I stored up from the night before, glycogen. I would burn that off, and then I'd have to get something right after, like we play 8, 9 o'clock, usually pool games are 8 or 9 o'clock. After that, I would start getting carbs in my body to get ready for the next game. Usually what they do in senior ball, they have pool games, and then you might wait 2 to 3 hours before you actually would play again, maybe 6 hours. So what I would do is right away after I finish my second game, I would carb up. And I'm going to kind of throw this in there, and I just remembered it, and I want to do it before I forget it. A lot of you guys consume beer whenever you play. Beer is an empty carb. It does nothing for you. It doesn't give you fucking energy, anything like that. I'm a firm, I don't like beer. I don't like alcohol when you play. I kind of get on my teammates if they do it. That saying it's no good for them. It doesn't do anything for them. It doesn't give them energy. But a lot of you guys out there try to, will consume beer. I don't like it. If you want to do it, that's fine. But just don't fuck up in a game that I'm playing with you in, because I'll be on your ass. That's just me. But beer is it's just got a bunch of empty carbs, what they call it, simple carbs. You're not going to burn it off as good as you would the complex carbs, which got that constant energy throughout the day. So stay away from that. Another thing too, stay away from your fast foods, guys. I do not consume any kind of fast foods, because mainly the ingredients they have in this shit that they try to serve at McDonald's, Whataburger, which is mainly from Texas, But a lot of these Burger King, I mean, God, I consider Wendy's, you know, a lot of these places don't have, their ingredients are just made to taste good. Do not consume any of that. I don't give a shit what anybody tells you. That is bad shit. So what I'm going to do is I have a list of a lot of restaurants out of town that I go eat, and I've actually gotten away with going through a lot of their food. And this is over trial and error too, guys. I've been doing this for a long time. Mainly I love breakfast. Like a lot of the places where we go stay at has a continental breakfast. Now that can be good, it can be bad. I've seen you guys sucking down pancakes whenever you go in there, and a ton of syrup. Please don't do that. I mean, the only thing I would eat at a continental breakfast is if they had some eggs, some sausage, some bacon, maybe some of that. That way it's nothing but protein. It's not going to take long for your body to digest that. I would stay away from your cereals, except for oatmeal. I would actually consume some oatmeal. Don't gorge yourself too whenever you're doing this. Kind of keep your portions pretty small. The whole idea about playing when you're out of town and you're a senior is keeping that energy level at a constant base. So every 3 hours, what I do when I'm playing a tournament, doesn't matter where I'm at, in town, out of town, is every 3 hours I'm putting something in my body. It's either going to be jerky, it's either going to be dried sausage. I'm putting something in my body, either protein or a complex carb, to keep my energy level up. Very seldom do I get the shakes from being tired. And I run bases for myself too, as much as I can. So I'm out there running bases. So I'm constantly every 3 hours putting something in my body. But the timing with doing it, like I said, don't do it before you're playing, and don't eat something big before you're playing. Always throughout the day, I'll stagger a lot of my meals. And I'll split my meals up and keep them in my ball bag. And guys, when you're playing and you're exerting too much energy because you're burning too many calories, you can feel your body start to drain. You know, it's not only water that you need, but it's actually fuel too for your body. So at breakfast in the mornings, I stay away from the hash browns. I go to Denny's. Me and Billy will hit a Denny's, or a lot of my teammates will hit a Denny's or an IHOP. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna have a list of foods that my top 10, I think it's top 12 foods that I actually consume when I'm going out of town. You can look at that video, and they have a lot of those foods that are in all these Denny's. You guys are playing outfield. I don't really do this, but you guys I used to do it before I powerlift though, but you guys are outfielders. Denny's and IHOP have the whole grain pancakes. Complex carbs, guys, that's the best thing you can do. Stay away from the butter and the sugar though. And if you guys just get that whole grain, they have a name for it, and I cannot remember what the name for it. But it's a whole grain pancake, and just eat the pancake. Don't put all that other crap on it. The sweetener or the syrup and shit like that. Stay away from your sugars, guys. You don't want to consume sugar when you're playing a tournament. So that's it. And another thing too, I talk about this and people laugh at me. My buddies will laugh at me and can't believe I went to go eat there. But Waffle House, I'll grab whenever everything else is closed, because you guys know Waffle House, they stay open all the time. I'll actually go into a Waffle House, grab some bacon and eggs, and then munch on that if I really am starving. Or when we get into a tournament, it's nighttime, usually they'll have a Waffle House by the hotel room, and I'll go in there and grab something, and then I'll take off, leave. Another thing too, guys, don't eat and then go to bed. Okay, that food's gonna sit in your stomach all night long. You're gonna feel like crap in the morning. It's not gonna store right, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not gonna digest all that food. 3 hours, guys. You know, give it 3 hours and then go to bed. If you got to stay up, I mean, I'd rather stay up and then get 5 hours sleep, you know, than go to bed right fast, you know, and then get, 8 hours sleep and feel like shit in the morning, because it's just going to hamper with you all day long. You're not going to get everything right. So stay away from the eating and going to bed. Now, I think what I do is, and I want to talk about this place where, man, I really love this place. And I haven't eaten there in a while, mainly because I cut out gluten and I cut out breads a long time ago, would be Subway. Man, when I was playing in my 30s, 40s, what I would do is I'd go grab a Subway, and I'd get the honey oat, which is a whole grain bun, and I'd put turkey, and then I'd put all my stuff in the middle of it, and then I would split it up. I'd get a foot long, and I would eat half there, and then I'd put the other half in my ball bag, and throughout the day I'd kind of munch on it a little bit, kind of, like I said, kind of keep that energy level up. Subway's a great place to go eat. Another place that I fell in love with years ago, and I kind of whenever I have, this ain't no shit, I've eaten at this place all weekend because when we go to Vegas, it's actually downstairs, and that is Panda Express. I will go in Panda Express, and the only thing I'll get like a stir-fried chicken or stir-fried beef and broccoli, and then I'll get the brown rice, and then I'll sit there and I'll get a big bowl of that, and then I'll sit there and I'll split it up. I'll eat half there, and then at nighttime I'll take it and put it in the room, and in the morning I'll warm it up. Complex carbs, guys, and protein right there. And it actually gives me, it actually agrees with me where it gives my body a lot of energy because of the complex carbs in the rice, you know. But I would eat those. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I gave him a list. And one thing I forgot about when I was talking to him was barbecue places. Now, the one thing about barbecue places, they got a lot of chicken, barbecue chicken. Guys, and another thing too is when we would have cookouts here in Texas, we'd go play a senior game, and all the guys would bring barbecue pits, and well, a few guys would bring barbecue pits, and we'd sit there and just bring steaks and food, and we would sit there and barbecue. I'd always bring chicken and barbecue chicken, and I would sit there and that's the only thing I would eat. I wouldn't mix anything with it. I would just eat chicken, and I would keep it with me, wrap it up, and I would eat it all during the day. So if you guys get a hold of any barbecue places, that's a great place. The one thing you got to stay away from is a potato salad. You know, a lot of places out there have mashed potatoes. Stay away from that stuff. That's a white potato. Stay away from it. If they happen to have, I don't know if a lot of them do, but if they have sweet potatoes, oh yeah, the sweet potatoes are awesome when you're playing ball. And stay away from the brisket. A lot of fat in brisket, guys. It's going to take your body a long time to digest that food. But kind of stick with the chicken when it comes to barbecue places. El Pollo Loco is another one that I hit. And I really love El Pollo Loco. A couple of years ago, I was in Vegas, and me and a buddy of mine turned me on to it. And I get the chicken, the double chicken, rice and beans, and I'll kind of stick the rice aside, and I'll just eat double chicken and eat the beans. Borracho beans is usually what it is, or pinto beans. A lot of people call borrachos, just a little spicier down here in Texas. And I would consume that. So I've talked to a lot of guys. Like and a lot of you guys do this on weekends when you're playing a tournament. That's that one night that we actually all go out to eat as a team. And we do that too. We'll have like 15 to 20 people at this place, counting wives and stuff. And I love going to places like that and eating with a team. The only thing I do is if it's these, 4 or 5 star restaurants, there's always things you can get there. I usually get the baked chicken breast. I'll get some of that, and then I'll get the green beans, the broccoli. But I'll kind of stay away from all the buttery stuff, and you guys know what I'm talking about, because a lot of these places, these high dollar places, when you guys go out and eat out of town, we ate one the other day, Fleming's here in San Antonio, they got a lot of butter on their stuff, and I was kind of just keep the carbs low, and then I'll eat a half of a chicken, or maybe they have a couple, like the other day I had a couple of chicken breasts, and then broccoli, and that's all I eat. And I kind of keep my portions down. You don't want to stuff yourself at night and then go back to the room and then crash. That's the worst thing you can do, because, man, you're going to feel like crap that next morning. You might have like a 8 o'clock game. You got to get up and play, and you're just going to feel like crap. So basically, guys, those are the places. And if I forgot a few, I'm going to put them at the end of the video. And I'm going to have a list on my website, www.seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. On the front page, I'm going to have a list of all these places that I will go into, and I'll grab something to eat. But like when we eat with a team, I'll kind of keep the portions low. I stick to the basics too, guys. Chicken and the carbs, no white potatoes, Would also, like when we were in Vegas, there was this one place and I ate a half of a chicken and a sweet potato. Man, that's the best food for fuel that you can eat. And one thing I found out from doing this years ago, because I was doing it in my 30s, and I'm gonna be 59 next month. So what I found out, that I was as strong as the first game, I was as strong in the last game as I was in the first game. So it keeps my energy level at a constant base. And I've seen the kind of crap you guys eat. Even when you go to these concession stands, guys, they don't have nothing at the concession stand for us to eat. Nothing. And if I'm really hurting, like if I really have to eat, and what I'll do is I'll go to concession stand. If they got a hamburger, I'll buy the hamburger, pull the bun off, and take the actual meat patty, and I'll put in between a couple of napkins, get all the juice out of it, just eat that. That's it. Another thing too I forgot about is whenever I was in my 30s and 40s when I was playing, and I still do this day every once in a while, and I do it with the beef part, the dry jerky, is I would get dry jerky and just put it in my bag, a couple of bags of dry jerky. But what I do now is I do a lot of hunting, and we shoot a lot of axis here in my family, and we live off a lot of that food through the year. But I get a lot, like, you know, when the year starts, I have dried sausage in my bag that I take to my games, and I'll hand them out to my guys that are on my team, and they'll sit there and just munch on dried sausage during the day. Guys, fat, and it's got protein in it. The fats, when you're playing ball, the fat's not going to do anything. You're going to burn that off. And the protein you're going to use as energy. So what that does when you have that in your bag, keeps your energy level up when you're playing. And guys, we're not talking about eating half the sausage. We're talking about taking little bites whenever you're playing. Even with the jerky, you can sit there and munch on that. It kind of takes away the hunger that you're getting because you're exerting too much calories, too many calories. So it kind of keeps you, you know, on that constant level that you guys want to be at until you get done playing. And then you can carb up, get your glycogen storage back into your muscle. So, and then bagels, I would get, when I was younger, and I'd carry these in my bag, I'd get a rack, 6 of these whole grain bagels. Cinnamon raisin was the best. I would sit there and stick those in my bag, and I would just munch on those during the day whenever I play ball. Guys, I hope this helps. What our goal is too, when you guys are out taking BP, what you guys don't understand, if you guys are out taking BP, you're hitting the gym, you're working out, and if you don't eat right, all that is to shit. All that stuff you've done to get prepared for this tournament is for shit. Because I see a lot of you guys going out and eating fast food, and then during the week you're in the gym, and you're not utilizing all your strength to play a good tournament. And you're doing a disservice to your team if you don't watch what you're doing, if you're not working out, especially if you're playing the upper class ball. You're not playing the major plus ball. If you are playing that major plus level, you gotta do things to actually will help your team. And if you're out sticking French fries in your mouth at tournaments, I mean, I get on people's ass, especially when I play with you, about you're eating shit food, and you'd be so much stronger at the end of the tournament if you just ate better, with complex carbohydrates and protein. Thanks, guys.